Welcome to Historical Stories channel, where history comes alive through stories from the past. In today's episode, we journey through the heart of a land rich in culture, resilience, and untold legacy, the magnificent continent of Africa. From the ancient pyramids of Egypt to the mighty empires of Mali, Great Zimbabwe, and Carthage, Africa's history stretches far beyond what most textbooks reveal. This is the story of a continent that shaped civilization, trade, science, and humanity itself. So sit back, subscribe, and let's uncover the powerful and inspiring history of Africa, one story at a time. In the heart of the ancient world, the African continent stretches as a vast and diverse landmass. It is the second largest continent in the world in both area and population. Today, Africa stands as a dynamic, youthful continent facing great challenges, but holding immense potential for growth and progress. In this article, we will explore the world of Africa, its diverse geography, deep-rooted history, rich peoples. It is connected to Asia via the Isthmus of Suez, now the Suez Canal, and surrounded by water on all other sides. And the Drakensberg in the south, as well as deep valleys, such as the Great Rift Valley. These include the Nile River, the world's longest, the Congo River, second largest by discharge volume, the Niger River in West Africa, and the Zambezi River, famous for the majestic Victoria Falls. This ecological variety supports a unique and rich wildlife, which stretches thousands of kilometers through East Africa and includes major lakes like Victoria and Tanganyika. Africa also contains the Sahara, the largest hot desert in the world, covering much of North Africa. It is believed that modern humans originated and evolved in Africa before migrating to other parts of the world. Notable examples include ancient Egypt in North Africa, the Kingdom of Kush and Nubia in Sudan, the Kingdom of Aksum in the Horn of Africa, and the empires of Ghana, Mali, and Songhai in West Africa flourishing through trans-Saharan trade. However, newly independent nations faced enormous challenges in state building and achieving stability. While some regions experienced political and military conflict, others saw strong economic growth, democratic progress, and increasing integration into the global economy. Southern Africa saw the rise of Great Zimbabwe, while the Swahili coast featured prosperous trading cities. Africans speak over 2,000 languages belonging to major linguistic families such as Niger-Congo, Afro-Asiatic, Nilo-Saharan, Khoisan, and Austronesian spoken in Madagascar. Today, its population exceeds 1.5 billion people, and it is the youngest continent in the world in terms of median age. Colonialism redrew borders, exploited resources, and brought major changes to political and social systems. Ongoing archaeological discoveries in East Africa continue to support this theory. Oral tradition stories, proverbs, and songs remain a key means of passing down knowledge, values, and history. Meanwhile, telecommunications, banking, construction, and services are expanding rapidly in major cities. And cultures, economy, and development challenges, and the promising future that lies ahead. Urbanization and access to technology, especially mobile phones and internet, are opening new paths in business, education, and healthcare. Efforts toward regional economic integration, like the African Continental Free Trade Area and growing global investment interest, point toward a brighter future. These often coexist with traditional African religions and spiritual beliefs that still play vital roles in many communities. Surrounded by the Mediterranean Sea, the Red Sea, and the Atlantic and Indian Oceans, Africa is the only continent that spans both sides of the equator, granting it an astonishing variety of climates and ecosystems. Africa is not merely a land of blazing suns and endless savannas. It is the cradle of humanity, home to the oldest traces of our ancestors, and a rich mosaic of ancient civilizations, cultures, languages, and peoples. However, turning these resources into inclusive and sustainable development remains a pressing challenge. Africa carries a long and complex history, marked by golden ages of its kingdoms and civilizations, dark periods of the slave trade and colonialism, and heroic struggles for independence. Africa covers an area of approximately 30.3 million square kilometers, with unique landscapes and ecological systems. And its young and vibrant population, Africa is poised to become the continent of opportunity in the 21st century. It is not a single unified entity, but a rich collection of nations, peoples, and cultures that share some historical experiences while differing in countless others. Despite the challenges it faces, Africa is not a continent of despair, but one of hope and boundless possibility. With its youthful population, abundant resources, and rising global influence, Africa is ready to play a central role in shaping the future of our planet. Location and borders. Africa lies between the Tropic of Cancer in the north and the Tropic of Capricorn in the south, with the equator passing through it, explaining its climatic diversity. Major landforms. The continent is dominated by vast plateaus, interrupted by mountain ranges like the Atlas Mountains in the north. Key issues include food security, access to clean water, quality health care, education, and job creation for the rapidly growing youth population. Additionally, building strong, stable institutions, promoting good governance, and fighting corruption are essential for full development. Major rivers. Africa is home to large river systems that are lifelines for millions of people. Climate and vegetation. Africa's wide expanse results in diverse climates: tropical rainforests in the Congo Basin, savannas with vast grasslands, hot dry deserts like the Sahara, Kalahari, and Namib, and temperate climates in the far north and south. Africa's history is the history of humanity itself. Ancient civilizations and kingdoms. Powerful civilizations and kingdoms emerged across Africa through the ages. Slave trade. For centuries, Africa endured devastating slave trades, both transatlantic and trans-Saharan, which had lasting negative effects on its societies, economies, and demographics. European colonialism. In the late 19th century, European powers scrambled to colonize and divide Africa, period known as the Scramble for Africa, Liberation and Independence. In the mid-20th century, liberation movements spread across the continent, and most African countries gained independence during the 1950s and 1960s. Modern Africa. In recent decades, Africa has undergone significant changes. Africa is a continent of incredible human and cultural diversity, one of its richest characteristics. Ethnic groups and languages. Africa is home to thousands of ethnic groups, each with its own history, traditions, and language or dialect. Religions. The two dominant religions in Africa are Islam and Christianity, both of which have deep roots and strong presence in various parts of the continent. Cultures and arts. Africa's cultural diversity is vividly expressed in its arts, ranging from music with varied rhythms and genres to dance with social and religious significance, sculpture, painting, and crafts. Africa is endowed with vast natural resources: minerals, diamonds, gold, copper, oil and gas, vast arable lands, and untapped renewable energy sources. Economic growth. In recent years, many African countries have experienced strong economic growth driven by natural resource investments, the expansion of service sectors, and rising domestic consumption. Key sectors. Agriculture still provides livelihoods for the majority in many African countries. The natural resource sector is crucial for export earnings. Challenges. Africa faces major development obstacles, including extreme poverty, income inequality, youth unemployment, inadequate infrastructure, roads, electricity, water, governance issues, corruption in some regions, armed conflict in specific areas, and the impacts of climate change. Opportunities. Despite the challenges, Africa's potential is immense. Its young population represents a future labor force and consumer market, a demographic dividend. Appreciate Africa's diversity. We can divide it into major regions, each with distinct characteristics: North Africa, Mediterranean and desert features, Arab identity, and close historical ties to the Middle East and Europe. West Africa, rich in cultural heritage, spanning coastal and Sahelian nations. Central Africa, defined by the Congo rainforest and unique logistical and geographic challenges. East Africa, known as the cradle of humanity, with the Great Rift Valley, savanna plains, and rich biodiversity. Southern Africa, resource-rich, featuring plateaus, deserts, and political and social diversity. Africa still faces critical challenges that demand sustainable, innovative solutions, yet Africa's potential is enormous. With the ability to innovate and leapfrog traditional development stages through technology, untapped natural resources, Africa is a continent of unparalleled historical depth and astonishing human and geographic diversity. Africa is more than just a continent. It's a living story of resilience, beauty, and boundless potential. From its ancient roots to its modern ambitions, Africa continues to inspire, challenge, and lead. As the world looks to the future, one thing is clear: Africa will help shape it. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If you found this video meaningful, Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and let us know in the comments what part of Africa inspires you the most. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected.